Today we're going to be looking at number 4 common. This is 5/4 by 3 11/16. This lumber has a lot of different uses: crating, pallets, a lot of different uses around farms and other places. But the lumber will be graded under Western Lumber Grading Rules, paragraph 30.14. The grading rules in the commons allow weighing that's on the back of the board to actually go all the way across the piece. Actually can dip down where it's no more than an 1/8 inch deep, which would leave you 1 1/4 inches of wood. That's on the back face. Weighing, of course, is the absence of wood due to the roundness of the tree or bark. The weighing on the face could be half the thickness, 1/6 the width for a third the length. Knot size is 3 inches. That means if you have a knot, you could have 3 inches of knot with only 1 inch of wood remaining. Black knots are half that size. So we're permitted stain, dark stain, heavy stain. We're permitted holes. We're allowed 3 holes in the piece of wood. So as we go, let's go through this. We'll take a look and let you look at WMATCO number 4 common 5/4 by 4. See the little beetle holes in the board, which are called ambrosia beetles. These beetles are killed during the drying process. We just equate the tiny holes to other holes. In other words, these are 1/16 of an inch, 16 of them with each equal an 1 inch hole. So they're perfectly fine for a number 4 common. The bugs are dead due to the dry killing process. Here's a weighing dip in the number 4 common. That would be on the back. It's no deeper than the 1/8 of an inch. So we would leave that board in the number 4 common. It has a beautiful face on it. You see planer skips where the planer has missed a board. We could have that for a 1/16 of an inch full length. But you see that's a hit and miss skip there, which we could actually have on the face. That board will grade a 4 common. Here we have edge skip full length. We could have an 1/8 of an inch edge skip full length, or we could have a 1/4 inch for half the length. This is less than a 1/16 full length. Some boards are in here do the crook. The camera may not be picking up the crook, but you can see if I hold it just right how crooked the board is. And that keeps it from being a higher grade. It goes into number 4 common because of the severity of the crook. Board is broken in the middle. The grader, most likely you didn't see it, but that would not make any grade. We would have to throw that out and reject it. Defect here is called red heart. It's a fungus that enters the tree through a broken limb during the life of the tree. It works on the heart of the wood, deteriorates the wood fiber. It's a fungus, and anyway, we're allowed 25% of the face of the board to have that on it. We, in our marketing efforts, try to keep that out of our 3 common. So we put it in a 4 common and on the back face. Grades of common are graded from the best face, which means that if you have a number 4 common on the face, the grade, then you could have a 1 grade lower on the back, which would be a 5 common on the back. So that's why you see some of the boards look bad, you know, when you look at them on the face. When you turn them over, this becomes the usable face, and then that's the back of the board. Here we have grub holes and ambrosia beetle holes both together. This is most likely a tree that was dead in the forest, and insects had already attacked it. The grub holes are due to insects laying eggs and larvae hatching out. The grub is actually a larva from some insect that's flown in there and laid eggs in the tree. So these bugs and grubs are killed during the dry killing process. The heat from the kilns is high enough that it kills any bug or any life that's in the board. I mentioned the crook earlier. Actually, the crook and bow are forms of warp. When we say the lumber has warp in it, we mean it's deviating from a straight line. If it's from edge to edge, it is crook. If it's from face to face, like this, it would be bow. So this board has some crook in it, and also bow also. But those are both forms of warp. Grub holes are like the ambrosia beetle holes. You add those up and you equate them to the hole size which you'll be allowed to. In other words, 4 1/4-inch holes would equal a 1-inch hole in this case. Defect in this board here is called pitch. Pitch is kind of like the white blood cells that we have in our body, that when we have an injury to the tree, you have an accumulation of pitch around that injury to help it heal. So this is a number 4 common, can have heavy pitch over the entire board, but this is just concentrated around the injury. This is a manufacturing hole which is made by processing in the mill. Probably a debarker hit that, knocked out a hole, but it's equivalent to our hole size. Plus it's on the back side, doesn't go all through to the face, so it would be fine for number 4 common. have the red hard fungus, but it really hasn't broken the fiber down that much yet to where you'd be considered decay. At this point, it's just stain. Stain is normally the first stage of decay, but after the tree is cut, that decay will stop, especially if it's dried down below 19% moisture, which this lumber is. All the way across the face of that board. From here it looks like it would be okay. It's no more than an 1/8 inch deep, especially on the one face. On this face it looks deeper, but it doesn't. It goes all the way across, and over here on this side it's actually an 1/8 of an inch. It would be okay. Not everything is spelled out in black and white. Some things you have to use a lot of common sense and just good judgment. So what one lumber grader sees to be important might not look that important to another. So it's just it's a visual inspection based on common sense and reference to the grading rules. Right here is got a break down about halfway. It's where the grain is actually going across, going straight down on one side and straight down on the other. It's a very weak piece. You can see where it's actually broken. So we would have to exclude that piece of wood from the graded 4 common. We could evidently, or we could put it in 5 common.